Let's get canonical with SEO Uncensored. My fellow SEOs, welcome to another edition of SEO Uncensored. My name is Dejan Mladenovski. I'm the host of SEO Uncensored. So grab your hit of link juice. We're in for a treat today. We're going to be looking into seeing basically what Google's CEO is saying about the search overviews, what's been happening with it, how much they're using it, what the plan is ahead. So stay tuned and let's go. So here we are. Google CEO says AI overviews are increasing search usage. Let's take a deep dive here. So Search Engine Land's article written by Danny Sullivan, and basically the satisfaction with the AI overviews is increasing and Google will continue to evolve the experience this year, according to Sundar Pichai, the Google CEO. This is interesting because, there's some talks about, are they going to release it? Are they not? They had the closed beta. Now it was rolling out to normal users in the US. Most recently, about a week ago, I saw a post and it's basically rolling out to users globally. For certain types of queries. So it's happening, it's coming. So Google has served billions of queries with this generative AI feature and plans to expand the type of queries that we can serve to our users. Even further, that's according to Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai speaking during a Q1 2024 Alphabet earnings call. Hang on, quick hit of link juice. So AI overviews, which Google introduced in the US in late March and in the UK earlier this month, for a small slice of queries, are also increasing search usage according to Pichai. And I quote, "Based on our testing, we are encouraged that we are seeing an increase in search usage among people who use the new AI overviews as well as increased user satisfaction with the results." Later during the Q&A portion, Pichai was asked multiple times about search behavior and user engagement within SGE, or the Search Generative Experience. Here is what Pichai said. "I think broadly, we've always found that over the many years, when things work well in the organic side, monetization follows. So typically, the trends we see carry over well. Overall, I think the generative AI in search and our AI overviews with our AI views, I think we will expand the type of queries we can serve our users." It's quite interesting. There's a lot of speculation whether, Google will be able to monetize the AI results and if they will, impact the credibility and integrity of those search results. So it's quite interesting that he does believe that monetization will follow, which is one of the biggest hurdles not to launch it. And obviously, of course, all the no-click searches it's going to happen, presumably a massive increase. It's just like featured snippets. So we can answer more complex question as well as in general. That all seems to carry across quarter categories. Obviously, it's still early and we are going to be measured and put user experience at front, but we are positive about this transition, what this transition means. We see an increase in engagement, but I see this as something which will play out over time. But if you were to step back at this moment, there are a lot of questions last year, and we always felt confident and comfortable that we would be able to improve the user experience. People question whether these things will be costly to serve and whether we are very, very confident to manage the cost of how to serve these queries. People worried about the latency. When I look at the progress that we've made in latency and efficiency, we are comfortable. It's been a lot of improvement on latency across all large language models. OpenAI's 2024 model also had massive improvements. There are questions about monetization, as I mentioned earlier. And based on our testing so far, I'm comfortable and confident that we're able to manage the monetization transition here well as well. It will play out over time, but I feel we are well positioned. So while we care, all signs continue to indicate that Google is continuing its slow evolution toward a search generative experience. I'm skeptical about user satisfaction increasing, but considering an unimpressive product, AI overviews and SGE continues to be. This is obviously the opinion of the author. But I'm not the average Google user, and I was at the earnings call, and this was an earnings call where Pichai has mastered the art of using a lot of words to say a lot of nothing. Again, Danny Sullivan's words, I assume. SGE will continue to evolve in 2024. During a live Q&A portion, Pichai was asked to elaborate on the types of queries and scenarios generative AI is working best so far. Pichai kept it vague. On SGE and search, we are seeing very early confirmation of our thesis, and this will expand to universal queries, where we'll be able to really provide people with a mix of actual answers linked to sources across the web and bring a variety of perspectives in an innovative way. And we've been rolling out AI overviews to the US and the UK, mainly trying to tackle queries which are more complex, where we think SGE will clearly improve the experience. We've already served billions of queries and it seems to cut across categories, but we are still continuing our testing. We are metrics driven in these areas, but I'm optimistic that it clearly improves the user experience. Users are telling us that, and we are seeing it in our metrics. And we'll continue to evolving it through the course of the year. This was followed by a question seeking more color around the AI changing search volume or Google use cases. Pichai answered with a non-answer about Google's positive and profound path. We view this moment as a positive moment for search, and I think it allows the user to evolve our product in a profound way. Our search is a unique experience. People come and they get to be it if you want answers, if you want to explore more, or if you want to get more perspectives across the web and be able to do it across the breadth and depth of everything they are looking for. And the innovation that would keep up with that, that would need to keep that up, I think it's where we've been building for a long time. So I feel we are extraordinarily well set up, particularly given the innovation path we are on. And overall, I view this moment as a positive moment. So what are my thoughts? Let's have a little deep dive and have a little discussion. So it's quite clear that Google's going to move to the search generative experience. These are strong words coming from the CEO. So this is a message clearly coming from the top of the organization. And they're clearly not deterred about monetization risks. Are they going to just, pick a bunch of keywords and display, sponsored results? Are they going to use the AI itself to find the most relevant ads to show next to the result or on the side of the result or within the contextual nature of the result? I mean, I guess time will tell what they do. I guess probably most likely they're going to go with a mix of something that matches the user experience. That's not going to deter users from using the product and going to Bing Chat or going to OpenAI directly, or lately Perplexity's AI search, which has been very interesting. And obviously a mix of what's going to drive revenue, because ultimately Google's a for-profit company. The majority of their earnings come from search, and particularly the majority of their profits, which is really what matters. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see what direction they sort of move into. My gut feel is SGE is going to wipe out a lot of sites' traffic. I think, across the board, somewhere between 20 to 50%, I reckon somewhere probably 30-35% of traffic, I think, will be wiped from websites and webmasters effectively. Would be my guess. Just depends on how hard they go and what they sort of deem an SGE term. It could start definitely rolling out to commercial queries. That's where they make their money. And informational terms, I think it's a no-brainer. Google's Gemini 1.5 shows its power, 1 million tokens. There's no doubt that is playing a role in the development, and probably there will be some major synergies between that. But look, I think it is exciting. It could present a new opportunity both in two ways. One, how do we then start ranking in the actual SGE results? Are links going to be a factor, or are we more going to be looking at brand terms, including the name of the business, the name of the product across the web? Is this going to be the new link building? That's the question. That's my first point. The second point would be, could a new search engine pop up that just does it better than everybody? And, it is going to be hard for, the average person to change their search habits. Think back in the day when Google's coming up, you had the competition from, your Alta Vistas and, other smaller search like Yahoo, Ask Jeeves and other smaller engines. Like, there was there wasn't no particular bias, I think, at that point. Like, it's just a couple of years now, we're talking about 20 years of user behavior has, where Google's been the major platform across at least the Western world. It could be a competitor to come up that has a better product, but again, it's going to be very difficult for somebody to go away from Google. I think Google does have the market down packed pretty well. I think they're probably going to come up with something, but he's hoping. Time will tell. I mean, anything can happen. This is the search landscape after all, and I'm pretty bullish on what is going to come in 2024, 2025. I think it's going to be a big opportunity for people that sort of capitalize and yeah, work hard and grind, right? There's no shortcuts. So, I think the more technology develops, I think the less shortcuts there's going to be, ironically. So that's my 2 cents, everybody. And that's another edition of SEO Uncensored. Thanks for listening to another episode of SEO Uncensored. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time for more SEO goodies. And remember to climb the ranks. Thanks.